Hi, today I'm going to share with you a favorite that I have prepared for my family for many years since my kids were young. It's called Chayote Pickles. So here we're going to use fresh chayote fruit. There's 3 pieces that we're going to use. Okay, make sure they're clear and don't blemish on the fruit, on the vegetable. A half piece of bitter gourd, or in the Philippines we call it ampalaya. This is optional. I know some kids don't like bitter gourd, but you'll find out it doesn't taste bitter at all when we finish our pickles. 1 piece of carrot, a half piece of red bell pepper, an inch of ginger, 6 cloves of garlic cloves, and some shallots. We also have this is apple cider vinegar. There's different brands available in the supermarket, so you can get any of them. And for pickling, we're going to use a pickling salt, or just a simple rock salt is fine. We'll have some raisins and some black peppercorns, and so this is our pickling salt. Yeah, for our equipment, vegetable cutter, that's decorative. It can be any kind, or if it's not available, just use a plain knife, that will be fine. Of course, we have a peeler, and I have previously sterilized some preserving bottles to store our pickles. I have also a cheesecloth or a plain cloth, because we will squeeze our vegetables before we actually mix them together. And I have prepared some Christmas wrapper to wrap our pickles in the bottle later on. Hi, so we'll start with our main ingredient, our chayote. We're going to the rough edges before we start peeling, of course, the whole piece. And then we'll cut this chayote in half so we can remove that soft seed inside. And here we use our decorative vegetable cutter. If you don't have one, you can use a simple knife, but this makes it more fancy, I would say. You know, some people don't realize that you can make pickles out of chayote. In the Philippines, we usually use another fruit, which we call papaya. But since I've been here in North America, papaya is not always available, so I started using chayote for my pickles. Then I don't miss home much, because I can have my pickles anytime I want to. We've peeled the carrots now. Now we'll make the carrots into flowerets. And how we do it, we cut the sides so that they will look like flowers after we cut them. We'll make our pickles more interesting and colorful. See? After cutting them, now we have carrot flowerets. There you are. Some little carrot flowerets. This is our bitter gourd. We remove the inner seeds so that only the skin is used. And then we slice thinly. As I said, this is optional. I like it in my pickles because it's crunchy. And it doesn't have the bitter taste anymore. Aside from being very healthy too. Bitter gourd is very rich in vitamin C. Now we go to our red bell pepper. We can just cut a red bell pepper into thin strips. Our shallots, pick the small shallots. Just peel them and you can slice them in half, or if they're small enough, just use a whole one for your pickles. So we've cut the rest of our ingredients. So that's the ginger strips and slices of garlic. That's our shallots, our carrots, bitter gourd, red bell pepper, and our chayote. We're now ready to put our pickling salt on the vegetables. So that's 1/4 cup of pickling salt. Mix them because that will help dehydrate our vegetables so that they become crispy when we pickle them. Okay, now we're ready to cover and put them in the fridge. We have our vegetables now after 6 hours that we had sprinkled them with salt. See, they're a bit watery now. So what we'll do now is to rinse this in running water, and we use our strainer so that we wash out the salt so it doesn't become too salty. And then we will use our cheesecloth to squeeze out all the liquid in our vegetables. We mix them all. We can now add our 1/4 cup of raisins, our 1 teaspoon of black pepper, see how colorful it is. We're now ready to pack them in bottles. But before that, let's make our apple cider syrup. Here's our stainless steel pan that we're heating. When it's heated, we put in our 1 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Now we put in our 3/4 cup of white sugar and our 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we will mix until all the sugar and salt has been diluted. While our syrup is simmering, let's prepare our veggies and put them in our pickling jars. Yes, leave some space on top because we're still putting our syrup here. The sugar in our syrup is now diluted. We've simmered it a bit, and now we're ready to put it off and cool it for a few minutes so that it's easier to handle it when we put it in our pickling jars. We have covered and sealed our pickles in the jars so that the flavor is all sealed in. And I said it's the fun part when we decorate our pickling jar so that we can be ready to give them away as gifts to our family and friends. Something different for gifts this year. I hope you learned something different today. This is our Chayote Pickles. Enjoy!